Just Baseball Show is presented by BetMGM. Happy July 4th, everybody. Here's the deal. We record these episodes the day before, so we're recording this on the 3rd. The plan now is no episode on the 5th because we're going to enjoy our 4th and celebrate America's birthday with a great day of baseball. We have to walk through All-Star Snubs, though. The rosters were finalized. We'll walk you through the reserves, and then we'll walk you through the pitching staffs as well. At the tail end, we are going to pick a starting pitcher for both leagues. But Peter, happy birthday, America. And people can bet on America's birthday.
Yes, they can. Use promo code JustBaseball when you sign up and deposit into your newly created account on the King of Sportsbooks. That is BetMGM. Download the BetMGM Sports app on iOS or Android, or visit betmgm.com. Place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses. If the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once the wager is settled. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER and must be 21 or older. Jack, I'm really excited for this episode because I think the best part about the All-Star game is arguing about who should have made it or who should have not, because the All-Star game typically ends 4-3 in favor of the American League.
Yes.
And it never ends up being that exciting. I think the most exciting part is to just argue over who or who shouldn't have made it. And I thought Colby had a great text. I don't know if you have it pulled up from our group chat. It was like, I am so surprised that insert player here was robbed over this one. I wonder if you have it. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I want you to read that text from Colby.
Also, I would like to say I'm really upset that parentheses surprise player from Afterthought team that is playing amazing and parentheses didn't make the All-Star team over parentheses star player having solid season from big market team, close parentheses, period. How could this even be remotely possible?
Classic. Every year. The Blue Jays did it again. They have about 90 players on the American League team. The Braves, they deserve it, but they have about 1 million players. So there are plenty of snubs that we're going to talk about. And if we don't mention a player that you think, let us know in the comments of YouTube. Let us know what we missed. We're not perfect. I went over the rosters. I found a bunch of snubs that I want to give to Jack. And then at the end, we'll name an all-star starter.
Okay, so I'm pulling up the all-star rosters. I'm thinking we go AL reserves, NL reserves, AL pitchers, NL pitchers. So looking at the reserves in the American League, I see Adley Rutschman and Sal Perez. I see Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., fucking Whit Merrifield, and Jose Ramirez. And then I see Yordan Alvarez, Adolis Garcia, Austin Hayes, and Luis Robert Jr. Whit Merrifield shouldn't be an all-star. I think Wander Franco should be an all-star over Whit Merrifield. That's the easiest layup. Wander Franco leads, I think, all of baseball in B-WAR, like excluding Ohtani, leads all hitters in B-WAR, and he's not an all-star, but Whit is when he has a 700 OPS. I frankly don't get it.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. So that was my first one, but I also want to clarify something. A lot of people on social media are quick to say, well, why didn't my favorite player get in? I think it's important when you're saying a guy is snubbed, who should they have made it in over, right? Because there are plenty of great American League outfielders and National League outfielders. But are they better than Ronald Acuna? Are they better than Corbin Carroll? So it's like, if you don't think that your player made it in, why? Over who, right? So I did the duty of just not looking at, oh, these guys all had great seasons. But should they have made it in over everybody? And Wander Franco is a perfect example. Do you know, Jack, that if you combine Matt Olson's F-WAR, the league leader in home runs in the National League, and Whit Merrifield's F-WAR, you get Wander Franco at 3.7? I mean, that is just horrible. He has been one of the best players in the American League. I think there's a real argument that he has been a better shortstop than both Corey Seager and Bo Bichette. But again, I'm not upset that both of those guys made it. And I also want to make a point, too. Could we make an argument that Brent Rooker shouldn't have been in? Could we make an argument that Michael Lorenzen of the Tigers, Brent Rooker of the A's shouldn't be in? Of course. But every team needs representation. So I'm going after like the 7th Blue Jay who doesn't need to be in, and that is Whit Merrifield. There is no statistical argument for Whit Merrifield over Wander Franco. There just isn't.
Yeah, they're not even Witt's not even going to catch strays in this one. He's just going to get direct punches to the chin. Like he's going to wear this.
And it sucks because it's not like Witt's having a bad season. He's having a great season. He's been extremely valuable for the Blue Jays, right? Double-digit steals, playing all over the diamond, hitting close to 300.
Yeah, he's a 700 OPS guy.
He's a 700 OPS guy. I mean, that's the bottom line.
It's just no bueno. And Wander Franco, 5th in Major League Baseball in F4. Acuna, among hitters, Acuna is 4.7. Shohei Ohtani, the hitter, is 4.2. Luis Robert is 3.8. Mookie Betts is 3.7. Wander Franco is 3.7. So Wander Franco has a higher WAR than Corbin Carroll, than Marcus Semien, than Freddie Freeman, than Fernando Tatis, who, by the way, we'll get to him. Mike Trout, Randy Arozarena, like all of these guys that were shoo-ins all-stars, Wander has been better than by WAR. He's got a 125 WRC plus. He's on the best team in baseball.
We're talking about WAR, and like that's the big part of this. But even if you don't give a shit about advanced stats at all, you don't give a shit about WRC plus. First of all, I respect you.
Wander's hitting 280 on the best team in baseball.
Every counting number also, like Witt's so good at stealing bases, right? He almost has 20.
Wander
almost
more.
has 30. Like it's not close. It's just not close. So I don't know what we're talking about here. I have another snub for you that isn't as, isn't as precise, isn't as perfect, but I wanted to bring this one to your attention because Guardians fans have been clamoring for Josh Naylor to make the All-Star team. And I looked into it. He has objectively had a better year than Vladdy. He just has. If we're talking about WAR, he has double the amount of WAR. Do you know Vladdy is worth 0.5 FWAR because he's been quite possibly the worst defender in all of Major League Baseball?
Ouch.
He's not hitting very well. He's slugging 445. Josh Naylor's hitting 300. Look at the stat comparisons. You bring up Vladdy, and I'll bring up Josh Naylor. We'll go one by one.
Okay, so Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting 274.
Okay, hold on. Give me a sec.
You got it.
Josh Naylor. Remember, he started out pretty slow and then has just been on a crazy tear for the Cleveland Guardians since. So Josh Naylor's hitting 301.
Okay, so Naylor, 347 OBP for Vladdy.
340 for Naylor.
Okay, Vladdy wins. 445 slug for Vladdy.
475 for Naylor.
Okay, Naylor wins. 12 pumps for Vladdy.
10 pumps for Naylor.
Vladdy wins. 52 driven in for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
60 driven in for Josh Naylor on a worse offense.
A 121 WRC plus for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
119 for Naylor.
And the defense is much better for Josh Naylor. Now, I'm going to throw you another name here that needed to be on the All-Star team. If we're talking Vladdy and Naylor, you should have slapped Ryan Noda in this conversation too.
No doubt.
So that's where I stand. I understand. I dropped my phone. I understand why Vladdy got the nod over Naylor. Like the sex appeal with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s name is through the roof. Like people would pay to go see Vladdy Jr. And I guarantee you some people that tune into the All-Star game, if they saw Josh Naylor playing, they'd be like, who? I like those guys. I like first-time All-Stars like that. But it's a tie goes to the more famous person situation. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is for sure the more famous person. But I will tell you,
I don't think it's a tie.
I don't think
Naylor
it's a tie.
Wins. And I think Noda would win too.
I think Noda beats both of them. I think Noda beats Naylor.
And I don't have a problem with that one bit, Mr. McMullen.
Noda has a 131 WRC plus compared to Naylor's 119. He's got a 1.5 WAR compared to Naylor's 1.2.
Yep.
And they're both better than Vladdy.
They're both better than Vladdy, and that's the main point here. You need a snub. Who are you taking out? We are taking out Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and putting in either Ryan Noda or of the Athletics or Josh Naylor of the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Those are snubs. That's the definition of a snub. Guys who have been better, but they're not on the sexy team.
Yeah.
I got a lot more. I got a lot more still in the American League if you want to hear them.
Keep going. Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. Kenley Jansen should not be an all-star. Sorry. There's no way Kenley Jansen should be an all-star when Carlos Estevez, who has been unreal, ERA under 2, more saves than Kenley. Yohan Duran, remember him? Why is he not an all-star? Objectively, go to the stats. Yohan Duran of the Minnesota Twins and Carlos Estevez have both been far better than Kenley Jansen. Why is Kenley Jansen an all-star?
No, I mean, like, yes, I have no rebuttal.
Kenley Jansen's been good. Kenley Jansen's been good. He's not bad. It's just not been better. Like, no shot.
Here's the thing.
But the thing is, like, we talk about, the sexy team. The Angels have been better than the Red Sox.
So here's my thing. Kenley wins the name recognition game over both of those guys. But if Major League Baseball wanted to show off their best product, Duran would be an all-star.
Duran would so be an all-star. It makes no sense.
No. I do love that you brought up Estevez because that guy has been the unsung hero. He and Barria have been the unsung heroes for the Angels. Barria wasn't going to be an all-star. Like, we knew that. No. He's a swingman. Swingmen aren't all-stars. But Estevez, this team went into this season having no idea what their closer situation was going to be. Like, if Estevez didn't work, they were going to try other guys. But Estevez has held it down and been one of the best closers in all of baseball. And those are the kind of guys, and we're going to get to one in the National League too, that I think need to be on this team. Ones that step up and anchor, especially like closers. I get it. Like, Devin's been awesome and Doval has been awesome. And I just brought up 2 National League guys. Like, Jansen's been good, but Kenley Jansen is not providing the security for the Boston Red Sox like Estevez is for a team that is above 500 with playoff aspirations in Shohei Ohtani's final year on the books.
Also, shout out Angels front office, Perry Manassian, general manager, for finding Carlos Estevez. He was one of these Rockies arms.
Rocky flameout.
The ERA doesn't look great because he's got to pitch on the moon all the time. That's why I'm so intrigued with guys like Justin Lawrence, Jake Bird.
How about Yency Almonte last year? Almonte was that guy. He was a Rocky flameout.
Exactly. Like, these are guys that GM should be going after. And if you hear their names traded to you, Adam Ottavino is another good name of a guy who's just like some rando Rocky. And he got traded and developed into one of the better relievers in baseball. They have those type of guys. It's just hard to pitch on the moon. But Justin Lawrence and Jake Bird, I want them on my team if I'm a contender and I need bullpen help. Give me those 2. And Carlos Estevez is a great option.
Yeah, but Duran, I think Yohan Duran absolutely deserved the all-star nod. Again, I get why they did it with Jansen, especially when he picked up that milestone save this year. Was that 400 that he picked up this year?
Kenley, yep.
Yeah, so, like, I get it. He's closing games. He's been fringe all-star caliber, and he got 400 this year, and he's Kenley Jansen. Like, slap him in the all-star game, sure, but you got to clear up a spot for Estevez or Yohan Duran.
Yeah, and, like, I don't even get bringing in Kenley. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, like, he's been objectively worse.
If Kenley,
he got his 400 save this year.
If Kenley made it over, like, Yennier Cano, I would have been
Wait a minute. Is he the lone Red Sox representative?
I think he is.
So we can't go after him.
Is that true? Like, we can't do that?
Tell me another Red Sox on the American League All-Star team.
There isn't one. I thought that Masataka Yoshida should have been an all-star.
Yeah, I think you can make that argument. The only problem is I don't know who you take out. Yoshida's been great. Again, these guys deserve to be all-stars because they've had great first halves. But Yoshida's also been one of the worst defenders in Major League Baseball. He's hit a lot, but a lot of the guys have hit the same as him and have been better on defense. So, like, again, Yoshida deserves, Verdugo deserves, but they haven't been better than the guys who were named.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I was looking at Yoshida compared to Austin Hayes.
No, Hayes has been awesome.
Hayes, yeah, he's a 133 and a 1.9. Yoshida's a 134 and a 1.2.
Yeah.
Eek.
So, actually, never mind. We can't go after.
Is that how we're playing this
game? I mean,
yeah, you're right. We can't go after Michael Lorenzen.
Congratulations, Red Sox. You got 1. Actually, I think my Yankees got 1 too. So fuck us both.
Yeah.
And our guy stubbed his toe and isn't even playing anymore. That's all I had for the American League. I have a bunch for the National League that we can get into now.
Yeah, I don't think I have any more for the American League. Just like doing a quick scan. I'm pretty happy with the names that we brought up. I wanted to make sure to bring up Yohan Duran. I wanted to make sure to bring up Wander was the easiest one, but Yoshida too. Like I thought that was a great opportunity to, continue branding the global game. Like rookie year for Yoshida. I thought that he was worthy.
I think Verdugo was more worthy than he was.
Yeah, like I thought one of those guys should have made it, but they didn't.
Yeah. Also, shout out Cuba. 8 players were named from Cuba. That's the most in the nation's history for this All-Star game. 8 Cubans.
Man, do you have the list?
No, I don't have the list of the exact guys, but I know 8 did.
Off the dome, I know Cano is Cuban. I know Arozarena is Cuban. Luis Robert is Cuban.
Jordan
is Cuban. That's damn cool, man. Good for Cuba.
Cool.
Good for Cuba. And listen, like Red Sox people, we don't hate you. We thought Verdugo and Masataka Yoshida like had all-star cases. So
Colby Olson even said that I'm a closet Red Sox fan.
I don't think that's true.
I think I'm the Red Sox truther on this podcast.
I think you're a closeted Mets fan. We talked about that last year. You were kind of like an outward Mets fan, but now you're back in. Like,
I do like talk. I have so many friends who are Mets fans, and like I love talking Mets, and like I go to so many Mets games, so it's like I always end up rooting for them. But at the end of the day, I will always make fun of Mets fans for the trash can of a team that they're putting out there this season because I think it's funny. But I agree. I kind of am a closeted Mets fan. I'm also a full-fledged Guardians fan.
Yeah.
I think I know the Red Sox too well. Like I'm always going to have them in the back of my brain and always know they're coming. Yeah. Like they could have a bad season, but I've seen too many of these teams. So it's like I always
you pick
when
better
they're bad,
ones.
like I'm going to tell you they're bad, but when they're good, I'm going to tell you they're good.
You pick better one. I'm a White Sox, Pirates, and Rockies fan right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Rockies is a troll. Rockies isn't real.
But my life is a troll.
Okay.
I love the bit.
Let's talk about where we're going to be in Seattle because we're talking about all-star games, and this is a big event that you guys should come out.
The fellas are saying that we're going to be at Gantry Public House on Sunday night during the MLB draft. So if you want to come watch the draft with us, we've got this great trade show going on with our friends at eBay. So we're branding it as like Just Baseball and eBay's trade night. Bring your cards, and it's like an opportunity to swap cards with all that. But it's also a chance to just watch the MLB draft with us. What do the Pirates do? Do they take Cruz? Do they take Skeens? Do they end up underslotting for Langford? It's going to be fascinating. Like how does the back of the top 10 shake out? Where does Dolander go? We've got so many questions that we want to be asking. Plus, it's a great opportunity for us to meet you guys. So if you live in the Seattle area, if you're going out to Seattle for the All-Star Game festivities, which include the draft, the Futures game, which will be at, the Derby will be at, the All-Star Game, Sunday night during the draft, Gantry Public House. If you walk down the third base line, past the left field foul pole at T-Mobile Park, it's about half a block beyond that. It's right next to the home of the Seattle Seahawks. And if you come up to me and tell me that I'm way more handsome in person than I am on social media, I'm going to give you this Rodolfo Castro rookie card. Okay?
And also, if you're confused or you don't know where to find it, send me a DM on Twitter and I'll lead you to us because we want as many fans of the Just Baseball show, fans of Just Baseball in general, or just you casually listen and this is your first episode. Come meet us. We're good guys, sort of.
Peter is the sneakiest 6'4" ever. So if you shoot him a DM, just look for the tall drink of water that's popping out of Gantry Public House.
I like that. Tall drink of water. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah,
I've
man.
never been called that. Feel good.
Yeah, got you. Hey, listen, I'm calling you tall. If somebody calls me handsome, Rodolfo Castro, coming your way.
It's a free card for a compliment. All right, National League. I got a bunch. We could actually just read them off. Give us the reserves so we know who I'm coming after.
Yeah, okay. So the National League reserves here, as I look at this. All right. National League, Elias Diaz of the Rockies, the lone representative, Will Smith of the Dodgers are the catchers. Ozzie Albies, Pete Alonso, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson are the infielders. Nick Castellanos, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Juan Soto are the outfielders. And then Jorge Soler is also there as the DH. I assume the guy you're going to pick on is actually Austin Riley, as weird as it sounds.
And you'd be right. So I got a bunch. So Braves fans, don't come after me. If you listen to the Just Baseball show, you guys know I'm also a closeted Braves fan. I got him to win the division
How can
on
you not
BetMGM.
be?
I got him to win the National League pennant on BetMGM, and I got him to win the World Series. I'm a full-fledged Braves fan this year. But what I also do want you to know is that you voted too many times. You got too many good players in. I know that you're setting records on offense. I know that you've been basically the best team in baseball. I'm giving you all the praise, and you have a lot of all-stars. Unsimilarly to the Blue Jays, where you guys actually deserve a lot of these names, but you went too far.
Yep.
You went too far. Austin Riley has been good, not great. And you know who's been better than Austin Riley, Jack McMullen?
Who?
He plays first base and he plays third base for America's team, and his name is Spencer Steer. Spencer Steer has been better than Austin Riley. You want to pull up the tape? Let's pull up the tape. You read off Austin Riley. I will read off Spencer Steer. Because Reds fans, I know, were clamoring, why wasn't Steer an all-star? Why wasn't Steer an all-star? And I said, well, who are you going to take out? And I found who you're going to take out. You're going to take out Austin Riley. So let's go through it.
Austin Riley has played 83 games.
Okay. Spencer Steer's played 81.
Okay. That takes away our sample size conversation.
Yeah.
Austin Riley is hitting 270.
283 for Steer.
Austin Riley has a 335 OBP.
Steer's at 374.
Okay. 457 slug.
502 for Steer.
Each part of the slash line advantage Spencer Steer.
Yep.
Austin Riley has 15 homers.
Steer has 14, but has 9 bags.
Okay. Riley has 43 driven in.
Steer has 50.
Austin Riley has a 110 WRC plus.
Spencer Steer's at 131.
And Austin Riley has a 1.7 WAR.
1.6 for Spencer Steer. Riley is the supreme defender.
But he beats him in every element of the slash line, and his WRC plus is about 20 points better.
Spencer Steer should be an all-star.
Spencer
It was
Steer
always
should be an
Spencer
all-star.
Steer. Do you remember last year when I was like, this guy is at bats. He keeps winning me bets. He's so sneaky and he's so good. And I'm so happy to see Spencer Steer is that dude. Spencer Steer was my hitter version of Cal Quantrill last year. And it is so cool to see him put together this incredible plate discipline and produce results. And he deserves to be an all-star over Austin Riley. There's no doubt about it. You can say F4, sure. But the Braves have plenty. Get Spencer Steer in the all-star game. He's been better offensively at a premium offensive position than Austin Riley has. It's just a fact.
Yep. Another guy that I want to shout out that has been better than Austin Riley is Jamer Candelario.
Yes, he has.
I was thinking Candelario should be one. Going back to the American League real quick.
And JD Davis of the Giants.
JD Davis. Yep. Going back to the AL real quick, it kind of blows my mind that Isaac Paredes is not an all-star. I think
Agreed.
Isaac Paredes is awesome.
The only problem is, where do you put him?
Yeah, and like that's tough because I'm not taking J-Ram off. Like shit, dude, Matt Chapman. Like
hasn't been as good as J-Ram. I mean, Josh Young's been so damn good, though, that I don't mind that. It's like when these guys have been so good, like, yes. Should J-Ram be over him? Yes. Do you have an argument for Matt Chapman? Yes. Do you have an argument for Isaac Paredes? Yes. But when they've also been so good and it's like razor thin, I'm like, is that a snub? No. Could I make an argument? Yes. That's where I put Isaac Paredes in.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to pick on Ozzie Albies for a moment.
Fair.
Can you do me a favor and grab Albies? And I've got a mystery player that I'm gonna run through.
Is he an Arizona Diamondback?
He's not an Arizona Diamondback. We can get to Ketel Marte in a minute.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got Ozzie Albies for you.
Ketel Marte is a big snub, but I want to go through this guy first. My guy has played 80 games this year.
Ozzie Albies has played 83 games.
My guy's hitting 258.
259 for Albies.
My guy has a 346 OBP.
311 for Albies, but we all know he's not an on-base guy.
My guy has a 418 slug.
506 for Albies.
Okay. My guy has a 114 WRC plus.
113 for Albies.
And my guy has a 2.7 WAR because he's one of the better infield defenders in baseball.
1.9 for Albies, but Albies does have 20 jacks.
My guy has 10 and 13 bags.
Okay, Albies has 6 bags.
So my guy is a point better in WRC plus. And with Albies checking in at 1.9, my guy is 0.8 wins above replacement better than Ozzy Albies. And my guy is Ha-Seong Kim of the San Diego Padres.
Don't hate it one bit, Mr. McMullen. I don't hate it one bit.
Kim has been one of the very few bright spots, and Tatis is a bright spot. Like Tatis,
No, it's funny. The Padres have bright spots. It's just the rest of their team is horrible, and they don't know how to win games, and they give up when they're down.
That's like Waka, bright spot. Tatis, bright spot. Soto,
Hater.
good. Hater, bright spot. Kim, I think
Blake
is
Snell.
the one. Blake Snell for sure. I think Kim is the one that stands out above the rest, though, because you had a feeling Kim was going to be solid. He's on pace for like a 5.5 win season.
He's so good defensively, and he's been good offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that one bit. I wasn't even thinking about him. Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you.
That's what I do, man. I push creative boundaries.
Good for you. Ketel Marte also deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, do we need to run through it? Ketel Marte has a 133 WRC plus, and he's 0.3 wins above replacement better than Albies.
Bang. Those two guys should be in over there. But
awesome.
It's funny, like the Braves have been so damn good, and I'm about to chirp another Brave. Jack McMullen. Geraldo Perdomo has been better than Orlando Arcia.
Yeah.
He just has.
Yes.
He just has.
But he's a starter.
Like, let's do it for Braves fans because I got chirped relentlessly. You bring up Arcia, I'll bring up Perdomo. Let's go to the tape.
Okay.
Because my fat face can talk all day long, but let's go to the tape. Go to the tape.
Okay, hold on. Orlando, I'm in charge of Arcia.
You're in charge of Arcia. I got Perdomo.
Okay, Orlando Arcia. I am pulled up. Orlando Arcia this year with the Atlanta Braves has played 62 games.
69 games for Perdomo.
Arcia, 296.
284.
Arcia, 349 OBP.
389 for Perdomo.
40 points better than Orlando Arcia. Orlando Arcia has a 439 slug.
433. So basically, same thing.
Orlando Arcia has a 114 WRC plus.
126 for Perdomo.
8 points better for Perdomo. Orlando Arcia has 7 homers in 1 bag.
Perdomo has 5 homers and 9 bags.
Orlando Arcia has a 1.9 F4.
2.6 for Perdomo.
Perdomo should have been an all-star over Arcia, and he probably should have started at short.
That's what I'm saying. Braves fans, you heard it. What's your argument? Higher batting average? Come on. Be real. I love the Braves. You know I love the Braves. But come on. Let's be real. Perdomo has earned it over Arcia. And you got about 90 Braves anyway. You need Arcia in, or you basically just taking a stab at the Cubs and be like, look how smart we are. We let go of Dansby, and we have Orlando Arcia, the all-star. Come on. Perdomo's been better.
Yeah.
Arguably, Dansby's been better. Dansby is such a phenomenal defender. Every single time I watch him, he's making these smooth backhand plays. His arm is like average, but it doesn't matter. Just gets over there because he's got this quick release. He is an all-world defender, and he's been good offensively. Not quite to Orlando Arcia's level, but not that much worse and a far better defender. I would go Dansby over him too, but Dansby made it.
Yeah.
Arcia wouldn't have made the All-Star game for me. He just wouldn't.
No.
Sorry.
I've got one that's pretty interesting. And like, obviously the highlight here is Fernando Tatis Jr. Like, you have to talk about.
We haven't even gotten to him yet. Yeah. I have another one. Yeah.
I'm going to pick on Lourdes Gurriel Jr. now.
Yeah.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr., I really appreciate the story. Corbin Carroll's already the D-backs representative. Gallen was already the D-backs representative. So Gurriel is the third. Lourdes Gurriel, I want you to have this guy, or I want you to have Gurriel, and I'm going to do another mystery player. Cool?
Okay.
Tell me when you got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. up.
I do now.
Lourdes Gurriel, or my guy, has played 80 games.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has played freaking loading 73 games.
My guy has 10 homers and 18 bags.
13 homers, 1 bag.
My guy is hitting 273.
270 for Gurriel.
My guy has a 370 OBP.
My guy has a 321 OBP.
My guy has a 438 slug. My guy is a 2.5 WAR.
1.4 for Gurriel Jr.
So this guy's over a win better. And you look at Gurriel's WRC plus, and it's 5 points lower. My guy's Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Christian Yelich.
Christian Yelich should be an all-star over Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
You know who arguably should be an all-star over Christian Yelich?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Not even getting to him yet. Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals. You want to go through his shit?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's awesome for Washington. I'm going to pull it up. Lane Thomas. People are either having fun or they're just bored with us clicking on our computers and being like, well, he's got a 44 WRC plus. We're trying our best. We're trying to go through the numbers for the people.
Yeah, we're trying to get like why, like we're trying to quantify why I got snubbed instead of saying I watch Christian Yelich and he's good.
Yeah. So Lane Thomas, 14 bombs, 7 bags. He's slashing 299, 348, 506 with a 129 WRC plus and a 1.8 F WAR.
Yeah, so Yelich has him beat by 0.7 WAR, but every other number is pretty much better.
Yeah, because Lane Thomas is not a defender. He's just not.
But he's been a better hitter than Yelich by a good bit. So,
but regardless, both better than Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And we haven't even gotten to the main snub, which is Fernando Tatis Jr. He served his time, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want from the guy? He took his suspension. He stayed away from baseball. Then he came back and has been one of the baseball's best players, especially defensively in right field, learning a new position. Offensively, no doubt about it. He's been better than Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's been one of the best players in baseball. Like, if you're still mad at him, I get it, but I also kind of don't get it. He's so young. He made a mistake. Like, it's 4th of July. Isn't America for second chances? Isn't it?
No,
America's for second chances.
Are we sure? I don't think that's ever been a motto for them. I think it's.
Are you kidding me? That's what we're built on.
Second chance. I thought it was opportunity. We were built on like making the most.
Opportunity for the second chance.
America's built on second chances.
If you're an American and you celebrate the 4th of July, give Fernando Tatis Jr. a second chance. Give him a second chance. He's earned it. What does he got to do? He got to stay out of baseball forever? He's earned it.
I guess George W. Bush said that. America is the land of the second chance.
George W. Bush.
He said that about people.
Tatis Jr.
He said that about people getting out of prison, though, might I say?
Okay, well, Tatis kind of got out of baseball prison.
Yeah, so Tatis, like, it's more than a young kid making a mistake. Like, this is one of the best players in baseball, maybe the most electrifying talent in baseball, doing something that has, like, been long frowned upon and admonished. And, like, Tatis, I don't know, like, I think he knew what he was doing. I think that's been made pretty clear. Like, it wasn't, I've been duped. He didn't do the Ryan Braun like ED medication thing. He did the ringworm, and then he did like the haircut bacteria thing, or his dad did. Tatis fucked up bad. And I understand having a negative connotation around him. But the thing about baseball is you can't tell me that watching Barry Bonds and like from 01 to 04 wasn't fun. You can't tell me the summer of 98 wasn't fun. I wasn't around.
There's a part of me that wants them to say, yep, steroids are legal.
Yeah, like
just get so juiced.
That documentary banged. Like, I would love to be around for Sammy Sosa's 22 homer June. That would be awesome. Like, you can't tell me what he's doing isn't all-star worthy based on the moral compass of baseball. Fuck the moral compass. There are assholes in the Hall of Fame. Like, if this guy's doing this clean, which he is in 2023, he's an all-star.
How can you root for like Marcell Ozuna and Domingo Herman and like not
Yeah, it's like,
Fernando
let's
Tatis Jr.?
appreciate the greatness of Domingo Herman's feet, but like, fuck Fernando Tatis Jr. No,
Doesn't make much sense to me. Doesn't make much sense to me.
no. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like,
And Tatis's numbers are staggeringly good.
yeah, they're just better, dude. I mean, when you look at outfield WAR, this guy is the 6th best outfielder in baseball by WAR. Acuna, Luis Robert, holy hell, Luis Robert, Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr. He's got a better WAR than Trout, Adolis Garcia, Arosa Reyna, Julio Rodriguez, Kyle Tucker. Like, the list keeps on going, man. So I can't buy into him being left off of this based on like the moral compass thing, when I mean, you've got character flaws left and right that have been grazing all-star rosters.
Yeah, Major League Baseball proved they don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, like,
right?
stop.
Like what are we picking and choosing when we care?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. People pick and choose.
Yeah, you either hate them all or you don't. Be consistent, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 4th of July, the land of second chances.
Yeah.
Give Fernando Tatis Jr. a second chance.
I
got more snubs though.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, Devin Williams made it over David Bednar. Why?
Yeah. So Bednar is the guy that I wanted to shout out here. Bednar deserves to be an all-star. Yeah, and I think he's going to make it as a substitution. But Bednar was what, like a 1.5, and he was 34 punch outs, 3 walks at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he's been better than Devin Williams. He just has.
Yeah, objective.
Find every metric. He's been better.
Yeah. So, who else? You got any other pitchers?
No. I mean, like, should Josiah Gray make it over?
But he was
this
the lone
guy?
representative.
Lone representative, exactly. Should Joe Ryan make it over Michael Lorenzen? Twins fans, of course he should, but we can't kick out Michael Lorenzen. He's the Tigers' lone representative, right? There's plenty of DHs that you could kick out over Brent Rooker, but the same thing applies. But of the snubs, those were the main guys that I saw where I was like, there is actually no good argument, and that team has plenty of representation.
Yeah.
Like, and it's easy to go after the Blue Jays and the Braves guys because half the team is the Blue Jays or the Braves. And the Braves deserve it. The Blue Jays don't. Stop, Blue Jays fans. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Whit Merrifield, I don't care if you're the biggest Blue Jays fan of all time and you never listen to this podcast episode
Not
again. If this is the last time you ever hear from me, stop it. Stop it.
Merrifield shouldn't be an all-star.
Stop it. That is the worst all-star snub I have ever, like, what, in the last decade? Whit Merrifield over Wander Franco? You combine Matt Olson's WAR and Whit Merrifield's WAR and you get Wander Franco. There is no debate. Yeah. Absolutely none. You could say, well, there's already plenty of shortstops in. I mean, Whit Merrifield's a middle infielder. Take Wander Franco. I could go through a bunch of American League second basemen who have been better than Whit Merrifield. Is he your utility guy? And then that's your cop-out answer? That's a stupid answer. And you know it, Blue Jays Nation. You know it.
No, I think it's silly. Before we wrap, because I know that a Blue Jay is going to be in this conversation, before we wrap, let's pick a starting pitcher for each team real quick.
Yeah.
In the American League, your options, Luis Castillo's on the roster. He's not going to start.
No.
Your options are Garrett Cole, Nathan Eovaldi, Kevin Gausman, Shane McClanahan, Shohei Ohtani, Framber Valdez, Sonny Gray. That's very deep.
Yeah.
I can
no real wrong answer. Honestly.
No, and like I can understand the pitch for Ohtani. I can understand the pitch for Garrett Cole. My thing is this comes down to Eovaldi and McClanahan. McClanahan's hurt.
I wouldn't start either of them.
Eovaldi's my guy.
Framber's my guy.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. Look at him. What has he got? The best ERA in the American League?
Framber Valdez has, let's see,
the best ERA in the American League, I bet.
Jordan Lyles has the worst.
Yep. Yes, he does.
Framber Valdez has the best ERA in the American League.
Has to be Framber. Why wouldn't it be Framber? Ground ball king. I want to see those dreads in there.
Because Nathan Eovaldi has thrown 7 more innings. Eovaldi is at he's a 10-win guy. Framber's 7-6. Eovaldi's 10-3. My thing
Oh,
is, I'm a big narrative guy on this stuff.
okay.
Um, and Eovaldi being the ace of a team that lost Jacob deGrom and maybe the surprise team in baseball. Like, was anybody expecting Texas to be the second best team in the American League? Not really. Um, I think the narrative surrounds Eovaldi. Like, after two TJs and after like the Red Sox just kind of let you walk, you're the all-star starter for the American League. I'm drunk on that.
I'll raise you a narrative. Justin Verlander, the guy who won the American League Cy Young last year at a 1.75, leaves in free agency. They need their guy to step up.
And
And
he
his
does.
name is Framber Valdez and leads the league in ERA. It has to be Framber. Nathan Eovaldi, nice story. Framber's been better. Come on.
It is a good story.
Great story.
McClanahan,
But it's also a great story for frickin' Framber. Who's been better?
it is. I don't know. I think it's more of a toss-up than you're leading on here. Like the ERA.
Absolutely not.
Slightly.
I'm right. I'm right.
Okay. Whatever. I go the
No, I
Eovaldi.
like Eovaldi starting. Again, there's no wrong answers. You could say
Yes.
McClanahan. Like Garrett
Shit, you
Cole
can
has
say
been great.
Ohtani, man.
You could say Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray hasn't allowed 3 runs. He hasn't allowed in a
Sonny
start
Gray's
this
got a
season.
2.5. Sonny Gray has a nearly identical ERA to Framber Valdez.
Exactly. He hasn't allowed more than 3 runs in a start this entire season. Model of consistency for Sonny Gray. I'm just fucking with you. Like, you could go either way. I would go Framber, because if you're going based off that narrative, the narrative is still there for Framber.
Bro, you gotta
Point
stop
Peter.
fucking with me, bro. I don't like
I'm
that.
fucking with you.
Stop fucking.
No, actually, I'm serious. You're
I
wrong.
swear to God, square up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gantry Public House,
Yeah,
Sunday night, trade
exactly.
show, and we get to beat the shit out of each other. All right, National League here. Are you gonna make the pitch for Justin Steele?
You could. Yeah. But, like, I'm not gonna, because I'm going with old reliable.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, Clayton Kershaw. Sorry.
Has to be.
We're talking about name value. I mean, Walker broke it down so well on the Monday episode. This is his 10th All-Star appearance. A lot of guys are looking for 10 years of big league service. He's the greatest left-handed pitcher of all time. Still on the West Coast. I know it's Seattle compared to Los Angeles, and maybe that doesn't matter that much. But the numbers are so razor thin, and Steele leads all of baseball in ERA, but he doesn't have the innings to Clayton Kershaw. But I could easily hear a Steele argument. I could hear a Stroman argument. I could hear a Gallen argument. But give me Kershaw. Come on. I want to see it. I want to see 2 lefties square off. I want to see Framber versus Kershaw.
So I was thinking Gallen was going to be my answer, and then I saw Gallen get taken into oblivion by Mike Trout on like the 3rd pitch of the game.
The thing is, Gallen, since last All-Star break, so since like July 9th, whenever the All-Star break was last season, Gallen leads all qualified pitchers in ERA at 2.32.
Gallen's been a freak show, man.
Freak show. And he still had 10 Ks in that outing against the Angels.
Yeah, Gallen is full-blown like one of the best pitchers in baseball, full stop.
Has to be.
I think he's entering that conversation. And I think when we take a gander at this, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting conversation because like Steele, Bryce Elder, Marcus Stroman, like they're not in that top 10 pitcher in baseball conversation. Gallen is, which is cool, but it's Clayton Kershaw, man. So I've got Clayton Kershaw against Eovaldi, and you, sir, have Clayton Kershaw against Framber Valdez, and we're going to fight to the death about the AL star.
That was the most fun that the All-Star game is going to hold. Just talking about snubs, talking numbers, because we all know that the American League is winning 4-3 like they do every year.
No, they're going
regardless of the talent on either side. That's just how it happens.
They're going to mic up a catcher.
One guy hits a homer. He's named MVP, and that's it. It's pitching dominated. It happens every year.
They're going to mic up a catcher, and they're going to have Smoltz call pitches for a plate appearance, and it's going to be really cool. So I'm going to appreciate
it. Will be cool, but it's not as cool as talking snubs.
It's not as cool. Listen, what's the All-Star game if we can't talk about Ketel Marte and Christian Yelich? You know what I'm saying?
We can't talk about Lane Thomas over Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Yeah,
it was always, you know what? It was always Spencer Steer. It was always Spencer Steer.
It was never not Spencer Steer.
It was never not Spencer Steer.
When this guy, I think he was was he an Orleans Firebird or a Falmouth Commodore? I think he was an Orleans Firebird. Spencer Steer, the Oregon Duck, You had to look at that guy in 2017, 2018 and say, you're going to be a 2023 All-Star for the Cincinnati Reds.
Grit.
People
Ever
are
heard
going
of
to
it?
take notice.
Yeah, people are going to take notice. That'll do it for this episode of the Just Baseball Show. Again, taking the off day tomorrow, celebrating the 4th of July. Hopefully everybody enjoys America's birthday today. And remember, this is the land of second chances. So tweet something nice about Fernando Tatis Jr. And if you want to come to our eBay event, we'll have details. Make sure to text or DM me on Twitter and give Jack a compliment because you'll get a free Rodolfo Castro.
You have to tell me I'm more handsome in person than you thought I would be. That's the compliment.
You have to. And you'll get a Rodolfo Castro card.
Rookie card.
We are rookie card. We are brought to you by BetMGM. Remember, use promo code JustBaseball when you download for all those great bonus bets. Gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older. Get your merch, people. It's getting hot. Might as well get yourself a Just Baseball hat. We got a bunch of new stuff in the merch store. Definitely go check it out. Subscribe on YouTube, right? We're live on YouTube every single time. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. And remember to rate and review 5 stars, whether it be on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Greatly appreciated. We're almost at 1,000 5-star reviews on Spotify. Thank you all for listening. Again, that's Jack. I'm Peter. Enjoy your 4th of July. And with that, thank you, everybody.